Okay, what a day. Welcome back to Live at the Roxy. And in very very classic Live at the Roxy fashion, we started and ended our show for over a year with Brett Hankinson, Miles Cosgrove, Jonathan Mattingly arrest the cops who killed Breonna Taylor, all three of them for the death of Breonna Taylor, the murder of Breonna Taylor. And we said that for over a year on the show. We said it at the end with all of the things that we say that matter the most to us on this show. We said it in the beginning. We said it every time Glenn Streamlabs in or one of you guys mentioned it. We talked about the cops that murdered Breonna Taylor and their lack of arrest and how egregious it was. And of those three cops, Brett Hankinson, Jonathan Mattingly, Miles Cosgrove, the Brett Hankinson was arrested today, plus three other cops, and I'm going to talk a lot about that. So because of that, that makes today an excellent day here live at the Roxy, and I appreciate you guys for hanging in with me as we spoke about that every day for so long. And then there were just so many people who continued to be murdered by the police and murdered due to excessive force by people who are racist, sexist, homophobic, anti-Semitic, and all of the above. And so what that transformed into, the Breonna Taylor portion of the show transformed into justice for all the people who've lost their lives due to excessive force. And Breonna Taylor being the face of that for us because mind, body, and soul, she so embodies an incredible human who didn't deserve to lose her life. None of them do. And especially not the way that they do. And so the fact that today, when we say justice for all the people who lost their lives due to excessive force, and we are inching, barely inching, but still inching towards that, the amount of relief that Breonna Taylor's family must feel today, just in the fact that there is four arrests on the federal level. I have so much joy like bursting from me for that. It doesn't take back the fact that she's no longer with us. Nothing does. That's why there really is no justice. When we say justice for Breonna Taylor, there is no justice for her. There is no justice for George Floyd. There is no justice for all of these people who have lost their lives due to excessive force, because the only justice would be it never have happened and it never taking place. And unfortunately, unless anybody could invent a time machine, there will never be justice for Breonna Taylor, because it will never be right what happened. And even if every person involved in her murder was thrown in a prison cell, it still wouldn't be fucking justice. But at least it is a step closer. At least it is something that shows that we do care about her life as a country, as a nation. We care about the fact that an innocent fucking woman, not just innocent, somebody who is giving back to her community, somebody who's a part of her community, somebody who had a whole entire life ahead of her, that we care about her life, and we care about the fact that she was fucking murdered in her home, just fucking murdered. We care about that, and we can show that we care about that by making these arrests. So that makes today a very interesting day, because we don't know what's going to happen yet, but this is one step in that direction, and we'll talk about that. Unfortunately, there are some really fucked up things going on today. Something that we've also spoken about on the show a plethora of times over and over again. And if you follow me across platforms on the World Girls or on my social media, you also know this is something I'm incredibly passionate about. The fact that today Brittney Griner was sentenced to 9.5 years in prison in Russia is fucking disgusting. And people's response online about it is fucking disgusting. And the people in my comments, in my DMs, who are saying to me, the law is the law, and she thought she was above the law, and a drug is a drug, and it's a different country's rules, and it's outrageous that you think that that's wrong. Okay, people, just curious from you, just quick question, were you as passionate about the law, the wrongdoing of Breonna Taylor's murder? Were you as passionate about that? Were you tweeting about that? Were you tweeting? It is so against the fucking law that the police officers involved in the murder of Breonna Taylor falsified her warrant, the warrant to break into her home and murder her against the law, to use excessive force, to shoot 10 times into her apartment, that was against the law. Were you tweeting about that? If you're so passionate about every country's laws, were you tweeting about all the police officers who broke the law and murdered a woman? Or are you just tweeting about the fact that a Black queer woman was in Russia with less than a gram of a plant, and that person is going to be, that person was sentenced to 9.5 years, and that you think because she broke the law that makes sense? Let me just curious, from all you guys that were tweeting that, were you as passionate about both things? Because if it looks like racism and it smells like racism, chances are you're fucking racist. That's what's happening here. If you were not passionate about Breonna Taylor's fucking murder, but you are passionate that Brittney should spend 9 years in a prison cell in Russia, how are we going to not call that fucking racism? What the fuck? And the juxtaposition of these two stories is so clear that something is wrong with the people of this fucking country. I mean, there's so many reasons that there's something wrong, but that's what we're talking about today. I'm not here for long because I'm taping for Rotten Tomatoes today, and I'm doing that. We are live at 3. Not live as in goes live to the people, but I start filming at 3. But I didn't want to wait any longer to do this, so I'm only here for 15 more minutes talking about this. But just in case your timelines are not updating you, or just in case you are on the internet like I am right now, and you are getting bombarded by fucking racist troll pieces of shit, I'm here to remind you that they are the fucking minority. They're just so goddamn loud that you cannot ignore them. This is me today. Mute, 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 block, 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 mute, 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 blockity, block, block, mute, you fucking cunts. You cunts, it's a fucking plant. It is a fucking plant. So let's break this down, starting with the good stuff, because we need some of that in our life. It has been years of us fighting for Breonna Taylor and her death after she was so wrongfully fucking murdered. It is insane. And finally, today, Brett Hankison and 3 other cops were arrested. Now, those cops were not Miles Cosgrove and Jonathan Mattingly, who we've been talking about, who were actually on the scene. The only person on the scene who was arrested was Brett. He was arrested. The other 3 cops were arrested because of their involvement in crafting the search warrant. And they're arrested on conspiracy because they knowingly falsified the warrant. The investigation that's been going on to them, they clearly have enough evidence that they know that these people falsified the fucking warrant that ended up in Breonna Taylor's death, her murder. So let's talk about it. Brett's being arrested for unconstitutional excessive force. This is something we have been speaking about on the show for well over a year. This is somebody who shot 10 times into her apartment. 10 times. For what? For what? In what way? In what way is that just not straight up fucking murder? It is about time that Brett Hankison fucking... I saw all the articles on every single, ABC, CNN, Fox, and a lot of them are using this picture of Brett fucking crying, like wiping this tear. And I'm like, if you had an ounce of decency, you would send yourself to jail. That's what would happen. Because you murdered this woman. You shot 10 times and fucking murdered her. big fuck you. Big fuck you. These other 3 people will be fascinating to see what happened because these other 3 officers, like I said, they are being charged because they crafted the search warrant and they knowingly falsified information that allowed them to receive this search warrant. Her house, they claimed that the person they were targeting had been sent packages received at her house, received at Breonna Taylor's house, that in this person's name, packages were coming to her house. That was false. They made that up. They lied. And because of that, they received the search warrant or the warrant. And because of that, she ended up dead. So yeah, all 3 of you guys part of this fucking conspiracy. Arrest, arrest, arrest. You are not above the law just because you are the law. You're not above the law. You're there to enforce the law. You're not above the law. And now 4 officers are being charged federally. And it's about damn time. About fucking time. Yup. And everybody in here, if you are a rock star, you are as passionate about this as I am. Period. This woman lost her life because she went to sleep in her apartment. In the daytime, she worked helping people. And at nighttime, she went home and went to sleep. Like all of us. Minus the helping people part because so many people don't do that. Now, this is only part of the battle. Getting them arrested federally, a huge win. But not if nothing happens. So we'll see, and we have to keep holding people accountable. Keep holding them fucking accountable. The amount of you who tweeted this at me, I fucking love you. I'm so blessed to have such incredible rock stars. And for those of you guys who don't feel this way, I don't say this all the time, but you're a fucking moron. You're a fucking moron. For those of you guys who tweeted the article at me, or these articles, and said, justice for Breonna Taylor, or finally for Breonna Taylor, or Roxy, you're going to be so happy for Breonna Taylor. You guys are the shit. For those of you guys who were like, this is wrong. This is wrong. Her boyfriend fired at the cops. Why were the cops at Breonna Taylor's? What the fuck? What the fuck does it have to do with her boyfriend firing at them? She ended up dead because they came to her place. And she didn't do anything. And they had no right in being at her place. You fucking morons. You fucking morons. But it's not just moronic, it's racist. Call a spade, bro. If you are fucking, which I don't know where that expression comes from, so I don't know that I should be using that. It sounds like it could have some bad roots. I'll take that part back. Call it what it is. If you think that it's just an accident, that Breonna Taylor ended up dead, and that just happens sometimes, then you're a fucking idiot. If you don't think that if this has to do with the system and you being a racist fuck. And yeah, I'm looking at you guys in the comments, and those of you guys who are incredible, like everybody in here who is so happy about this. Jimmy Nails, yup. AJ says, I might shoot at someone breaking into my house as well. I'm supposed to believe you're a cop because you're yelling it at me from the other side of the door? Totally. Fucking totally. Ryan Payne, totally. Because they stormed through the front door. They had to announce their presence and they didn't. If you easily believe the boyfriend shot back, then why aren't you questioning why? Totally. Anybody who doesn't see this, you're a fucking idiot. You're a fucking idiot. I'm so sorry. I just officially had to block Chris because if you're being racist, you're being fucking racist. And not all women are emotional. And am I crying? Am I screaming? Am I in hysterics running for the door? No. Stop being emotional is an incredibly sexist line that's been used to attack women so that they don't express themselves, which I'm allowed to. Because guess what? I'm a fucking human, so I'm allowed to express myself. and my thoughts and feelings. But am I being too emotional for you? Then fuck off. Thank you so much, you fucking cunt crazy person. It's about damn time. About damn time. And nobody's raining on that parade today. Nobody's raining on that. We finally arrested the cops that murdered Breonna Taylor. Fucking snaps. We have to talk more about the Brittney Griner situation, though, because the battle is never done. Our work is never done. And what's happening with Brittney Griner is disgusting. It's devastating. And the people who are saying to me, focus on your own country, you have your own judicial problems. No shit, bro. Do you think that nobody watches anybody who tweets at me clearly doesn't watch my show, because they make it seem like I think this country's perfect and I fucking love Biden or some shit, which I do not. Here's the deal. Cannabis should be legalized everywhere. It's a fucking plant. You idiots. You goddamn twat fuckers. You're idiots. It's a plant and it's medicinal and it helps people. It should be legalized in this country, which it's not, which is insane. It's legal in some states, but it's not federally legal. It's still Schedule I drug. It's so fucking confusing and frustrating. It's crazy. It's crazy that I can smoke weed on air here, but if I was in a different state in the same country, then I couldn't. But even here, the feds could come get me, but my LAPD couldn't. What the fuck? It's so crazy. But this isn't about this country's weed laws. This is about a woman who is a Black queer celebrity who is stuck in Russia for having, let me show you, sitting right here. I've got 2 pens sitting next to me. 2 pens. I literally put out a story the other day that said I went to Disneyland, didn't think I had anything on me, and in the bottom of my bag there was a J, and I had no fucking idea. If you are a cannabis consumer, likely, like if you're somebody who takes Advil, there's something in your fucking bag. Do I think that Brittney Griner is a drug smuggler? Very clearly not. And if she is, she's not very good at it, because that amount of drugs couldn't get fucking 5 people high. Do I think she is somebody who is traveling, who is an athlete, who had something in her bag that, yeah, no shit, hindsight's 2020. I'm sure for the rest of her life she'll be upset she didn't take that out. Is she probably somebody who uses cannabis because she's a fucking athlete, so her body's in fucking pain? Yeah, probably, bro. Probably. Is it better for her to take painkillers that we made up as a planet that are fucking synthetic and worse for you? This is insanity that people are like, but she broke the law. Let me just remind everybody briefly. Not everything's about the fucking Holocaust and slavery, but I happen to bring them up all the time because guess what was legal? What was legal was mass murdering Jews in the Holocaust. What was illegal was harboring Jews to safety. What was legal during slavery was having slaves. What was illegal were the people participating in the Underground Railroad. So let's not fucking talk about the moral compass behind the law in places, this country or others. Let's talk about what's fucking right. What's fucking right is that she is a citizen of ours who had literally this. You see this little fucking thing? She had this with her. And now she is stuck in a prison for 9.5 years in Russia, where you better believe she's being treated like fucking shit. It's insane. So you want to throw the book at me? Well, it's about what the law says. Okay, so then you believe that it was legitimate for anybody who was murdering Jews or enslaving Black people, you believe that that was okay because the law said so? Just checking. Just fucking checking with all of you fucking people on Twitter who must be all bots, because There's no way. There's no way that this many people exist who think that Brittney should not come home. And does it suck that we're going to have to trade somebody for her that probably is not a fucking good person? Yeah, that fucking sucks. Yeah, that fucking sucks. That's awful. She's one of us and she's stuck. We have to bring her home. She had a fucking plant with her. A fucking plant. Wrong is wrong. Right is right. This is wrong. We've got to bring her home. Period. And people saying that that's not the case, the only thing I can think of is sexism, homophobia, or racism because there's no logic to it. There's no logic. All right. I'm getting out of here because you guys who are the rock stars are fucking amazing. And I just wanted to make sure you knew that you weren't alone because these sociopaths online make you feel like you are, but they're fucking crazy. These little fucking incel trolls are nuts. They're nuts. And if you guys, if me being here and the rest of us who understand all of this are banned, I just wanted you guys to see a friendly face today to know that you're not fucking alone. You're not crazy. Stormy says it's wrong that weed gets more jail time than rape. In what world should a rapist get 3 months and a drug offense gets 9 years? I mean, I couldn't have said it better myself. It's fucking disgusting, disturbing, insane. Should be there should be no world, but this world is the world in which that takes place. I didn't even ask for Streamlabs today because it just was not about that. But shout out to you guys for giving them anyway. Streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Thank you to Jimmy who said, the arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends towards justice. It's been a long time coming, but it will come. Sadly, regarding Griner, there are a lot of people hitting the bigotry, grand slam, sexism, racism, and homophobia. Yep, that's the 1, 2, 3 punch, yo. Glenn says hello, happy or whatever works for you. Thursday is sending love to my family, and he says Miles Cosgrove, Jonathan Mattingly, Brett Hankerson, all 3 arrest the cops who killed Breonna Taylor for killing Breonna Taylor. But yeah, for those arrested, today's the day just for all the people who've lost their lives due to excessive force. Thank you, Glenn, for always saying this and keeping us on track. So thanks for everyone choosing to battle. And he says that to keep doing it whenever, however, doing so when it's tough makes you a winner chicken dinner. I hope you're loved, that you feel loved. Thank you for that, Glenn. Thank you so much, my dear. He also tells us to breathe, which we all need. All right. Getting out of here. Shout out to all of you guys. Thank you to JMB, to Jimmy Nails, to Ben Clymer, to oh my God, Mr. Andy Fanatic is psychotic, bro. How did you find me? How'd you find me? How did the incels find me? Shout out to Zeno Hour, to Drew914, to John Bainbridge, to Matt Link, to Robert Turner. Stormy, I think I shouted you out. Murderanta and everybody in here. Ryan Payne. We'll take the fucking victory of the arrest today. We got to keep pushing, though. So much love to all of you guys. So much love to most of you guys. Stay safe, stay sane, put down the toilet seat and lid. We don't want those buffoons. Justice for all the people who've lost their lives due to excessive force. Convict the cops that murdered Breonna Taylor. My body, my choice. We love you wherever on the rainbow you are. And I will see you guys soon. Tonight, I'm going to do a show for Colin for entertainment news because we got a lot of stuff going on. We can continue talking about Brittney over on my Colin show, CALLIN. I'm going to do that after Rotten Tomatoes. But I also want to talk about what's going on with HBO Max. You guys know I have a lot of different interests, not just the Batgirl movie cancellation, but also the merger with combining Discovery Plus and HBO Max and what that will mean and the possible layoffs that are pending and everything and more news that comes out today. So anyway, we'll talk about that there. So much love to, as Jimmy says, most of you. And I'll see you guys soon live at the Roxy or on Colin tonight. Okay, later.